There's no light at the end of this tunnel. I'm Ashley with WatchMojo, and these are the top 10 darkest anime endings.
You're such a fool. Never disobey, grandfather.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Yes, we'll be looking at the conclusions in anime that are bound to make your soul turn to dust. There'll be some mature content down the line, and things are about to get depressing. Number 10, Shiki. As with all good gothic horrors, it's often the humans that come across as the monsters, more so than the actual monsters, even if the vampire scenes are the stuff of nightmares. With bloodsuckers silently converting a small town, it's not long before the populace is either consumed with paranoia or being turned into children of the night. By the time things come to a close, the village has gone up in flames. Everyone's either been horribly murdered or forced to flee, and it's hinted at that the cycle of tragedy is doomed to repeat itself. Number 9, Puella Magi, Madoka Magica, the movie, Part 3, Rebellion. Oh, Homura, why? Why would you rob yourself of your own happy ending?
No, stop!
After discovering she's trapped inside a witch's labyrinth, everyone's favourite magical girl is forced to battle her way through alternate versions of her friends, as well as Kyubei's dark machinations, in order to escape her newfound reality. Just when it looks like she's about to be reunited with Madoka forever, she steals her god power, rewrites the universe, and essentially goes psycho, all in the name of love.
Madoka is as sacred as a god, and I pulled her from heaven. So if you want to know what I've become, I suppose, if anything, you could call me a demon now.
The Uro Butcher strikes again.
I'm an existence called evil now. And if evil is supposed to disrupt the divine and be a force of chaos, it's only natural for me to upset the laws of a god.
Number 8, Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam. Zeta had already established itself at taking the brilliance of the original Gundam and amping up the darkness to insane degrees, but this ending was something else.
It's because Camille is in a machine that can channel that power.
Yes, the Zeta Gundam.
Was that women's voices?
While we couldn't be happier with the concluding 4-way battle, especially when Camille used his mobile suit to shish kebab the likes of Shiroko, the last thing we wanted was for our boy to end up with a severe case of space dementia.
It's huge. Is it a comet? Nah, it can't be. 'Cause comets move like soon.
As if he hadn't been through enough with watching his friends die, losing 4, and finding out his mentor was the Red Comet. Can't Camille just catch a break? You don't see Judo dealing with this shit.
Open up! I can't get out of here! Hey!
Number 7, School Days. Honestly, we're a little torn on this one, because if you really think about it, isn't Makoto getting brutally stabbed over and over by one of his heartbroken conquests the perfect ending? Alright, so Sekai getting killed by a crazy Kotonoha, who then splits her open to see if she was pregnant before taking Makoto's decapitated head for herself, might have been a bit of an overkill.
やっと二人っきりですね、誠くん。
Best just forget that part ever happened and focus on the sweet satisfaction of watching Karma come and stab one of anime's most hated characters in the back, chest. Number 6, Grave of the Fireflies. We all know it's coming, and each time it just gets harder to watch.
Zeta. Thank you.
As civilian casualties of the Second World War, siblings Zeta and Setsuko struggle to survive in the fallout of a firebombing. With nowhere to live and no means of supporting themselves, we're forced to watch the heartbreaking sight as both brother and sister eventually succumb to starvation. It doesn't matter if the film ends with a beautiful scene of their spirits reunited under the light of fireflies, we can't see any of it because we're still crying our eyes out.
The next morning, I put some of Setsuko's ashes into the candy tin and then climbed down the hill. I never went back to the shelter.
Number 5, Danganronpa 3, The End of Hope's Peak High School. Considering the Despair arc is practically its own anime, its ending is more than legible for consideration, especially since it results in the entire cast being so overwhelmed with grief over the death of their friend that they get turned into Junko's despairing servants.
No, Nanami, please.
Nanami! I don't want to watch this! Don't make me! I can't!
Once again, caught in the ultimate despair's antics, we're greeted to the sight of Chisa and company succumbing to their own anguish, and Junko's brainwashing as they witness Chiaki meet her end in a Saw-esque dungeon. Yep, that'll put a damper on your day, alright?
Say adieu to your late cheerleader. And hello to the incomparably wonderful world of despair. Thank you for playing.
Number 4, Berserk. Damn it, Griffith. Look, we feel bad that you spent the last year getting tortured until you got reduced to a mute cripple, but did you really need to trigger the eclipse? After reclaiming his Behelit, the White Hawk finds himself given the choice by the God Hand to join them as an omnipotent demon, just as long as he's willing to sacrifice his comrades in exchange.
I submit.
The deal proves too tempting to pass up, leading to such wondrous sights as the Band of the Hawk being slaughtered, Guts losing an arm and an eye, and Casca being violated by a reborn Griffith. Number 3, Devilman Crybaby. Considering the latter half of the series chronicled humanity's downfall into a self-destruction mob willing to butcher each other over the slightest issue, there was never any real chance the show was going to end on a happy note.
私を敵に回すと死ぬぞそうだとしても必ずお前も一緒に地獄へ引きずり込んでやるぜ
Pretty sure all the happiness died out when Miki was decapitated and flung around like a flag. Of course, Go Nagai being Go Nagai, he managed to push things just a step further by having the world literally end while Satan cradles the legless body of Akira after he crushed him in their final battle.
やだよアキラ俺を一人ぼっちにするな
Can see why God wanted to nuke the planet. Number 2, The End of Evangelion.
But Mother, what will you do, Mother?
Out of all the numerous times the world went to crap, nothing tops the one where our boy Shinji was left stranded in an orange hellscape, inexplicably strangling the girl he liked, while half of Rei's giant decapitated head smiled at them in the distance. This is not what we thought the third impact would look like. Not that it's weirder than Shinji being trapped in his own mind being told congratulations over and over and over again, we just didn't expect the end of all humanity to be such a mind
How disgusting.
Number 1, The Ideon Be Invoked. Apparently, someone thought that the original ending to Space Runaway Ideon wasn't dark enough, so they introduced this feature flick to try and cram in as much distress and death as possible. don't think you're in for a mecha-filled fun time, since everybody aboard the solo ship ends up getting axed off in a final firefight. If they don't lose their heads from the laser blasts, they're catapulted off into the vacuum of space when the ship ends up getting torn apart. And if that wasn't enough, they decided to go one step further and destroy the entire universe, wiping out everyone and everything in the process. Now isn't that lovely? So which of these endings depressed you the most? Let us know in the comments below, check out one of these other videos, and subscribe to Watch Mojo.